Alright, guys, welcome back to another free folk podcast. I hope you're all doing well. It has been an amazing time recently in the world of Kill Team here in Queensland. We've had Coastal Conflict a few weeks back. We've just had another tournament run by Tabletop War Masters, which was a one-day event, 4 rounds, and an absolute great showing. I think we had 16 people in total, which was absolutely epic. The cool thing about it too is that it's going to be run once a month now. So Ian from Tabletop War Masters has found an absolute amazing venue at the G-Bung RSL, and we've been there last weekend, which was absolutely just such a great venue. The staff were so nice. They've got a cafe there in the morning, so turn up early and have your breakfast. And then, yeah, obviously just a classic sort of RSL club. So you can get a drink, or you can get some like counter feeds and things like that. So really, really good. So for today's episode, I really wanted to just go over that tournament, how enjoyable it was, and how good it feels to have basically one tournament a month now until I think the foreseeable future. So really, really good. I think we've got the next 4 locked in with Tabletop War Masters, and then also next weekend is going to be one down at the Gamers Village in Upper Camara. So really, really good. Absolutely fantastic. So it's just a really good thing to be able to have so much Kill Team happening. I really wanted to go over my experience from the tournament. Once again, Ian runs such a great tournament. Good prize support, which was in the way of vouchers to a local game store, War Gamers, up near Caboolture there, War Gamers Hub. So that was fantastic, and I'd recommend if you do want to get anything, go through those guys and let them know. Use the code, I think it's TTWS, and not only does Ian get a bit of a kickback for that, but it actually goes towards more prize support. So the more that we sort of spend there, the better it's going. So it's been really, really good. I'm really happy that Gamers Village is coming to the table as well by putting on some more regular tournaments. Those guys are great. Highly recommend checking them out as well. So for this particular tournament, I took... Let's open this up here. Here are the results from the day. So we've got Taz with Hyrotech Circle coming in first. We have Matthew Stearns coming in with Angels of Death. Dan Mackey coming in with Phobos. And then myself at Legionary. Leroy in 4th place with Goremongers. And then Thomas with Angels of Death that we can see there. I'll just see if I can scroll this window down a little bit. You have to bear with me, guys. Yep, absolutely. We've got Max in 7th, Jay 8, Josh 9, and Aaron 10. And then we have some settling scoreboys. So we've got Fabian and Nick coming in there, followed by Noah, Harry, the other Nick, and Callum. So yeah, 16 players, absolutely ripping tournament. I've got to say, I had a really good time playing. So I might talk about the games that I had. So I ended up playing against Matthew in the first round. He took out our last league, which was really, really good. So didn't lose a single game over the 6-week league. It shows why. Obviously, he's a very good player. You can tell just by the time he takes to make his decisions. But yeah, it was really, really good. So it was a good game against Matthew. I then played against Harry. Harry and I have had a few games in the past. Harry took his Void Scarred. Not Void Scarred. Yeah. The Raiders, the Eldar Raiders, Void Scarred. Yeah. Into the Dark, which was obviously an absolute Bloodbath. I actually ended up taking my Legionary with all of them except for 2 with the Mark of Khorne, just to really, sort of push it to them. Absolutely fantastic game. Then Max and I had a game. Max was running Mandrakes. Unfortunately, this time I was a bit more prepared for Mandrakes. Max and I had a game during the week where we did some testing with the Goremongers and the Mandrakes. Unfortunately, I think just with the way the game unfolded, Max didn't have a great game there. And then my last game was against Leroy with Goremongers, which, to be honest, I wasn't in the best mental spot to have that game. After 3 games in one day, I was really, really tired. And just playing the game, I think I was probably a bit shirty with Leroy, so sorry about that, mate. But not with him personally. I think the Goremongers, this is my first, I think it was my first actual real full game with them, or against them, I should say. And it was actually quite a brutal game. I found it, if I couldn't activate first and get, say, like a double shoot on somebody, I just wasn't getting rid of the Goremongers, and they were just hanging around and just absolutely damaging me. Also not super familiar with all the Goremonger rules, so it was hard to I was in disbelief a few times of what you could do. I think we've had a few chats recently about how we're perceiving them as being extremely overpowered. I would say that the fact that you can just activate, attack, heal, add an AP, do all this extra stuff at midway through your activation's a bit over the top. But anyway, nevertheless, we still had a good game. We ended up having a tie, which was a lot closer than anticipated. So, ended up being quite good. So yeah, overall, really good sort of tournament. Really enjoyed it. And then I guess the next thing too is we have the Free Folk very first of the mini leagues kicking off. I had to split the league out into 3 different divisions. So basically we had some guys up north of Brisbane, some guys south of Brisbane, and we had the central guys. I thought I could break it out in a bracket so we could see sort of them all holistically in one system, but it didn't work that way, unfortunately. So I had to end up breaking it out, but I think it's worked out really, really well. So we've got a north, a south, and a mid division. So this is all a part of the great league that we're running. So we're doing I'm doing a 2-part league. So mini league 1, which will be 3 weeks, just three weeks. You can pick whoever you want, do whatever you want. We're going to have some prizes at the end of this. I was hoping to get a box of Typhoon. I don't know if this is going to happen now, unfortunately. So sorry to break the news to you guys if you're listening and a part of the league. I am scrambling desperately to try and see if I can get a box of Typhoon. I had 3 pre-orders, then all of them came back with negative. So not great. I'm hoping that somebody can assist me with a box. Just working through that now, the admin side of things. And then we're going to have a second league, which will also have some prize support for it as well, which will be another 3-round league. So splitting the league up into 2 separate mini leagues, I think has really helped because we did our first league recently, which was the 6-week league. And I think towards the end of it, a lot of people were sort of like, I'm getting bored of my team. I wanted to test this new team. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. So I thought if we break it into 2 smaller leagues, it's a little bit more casual that way. It's not as sweaty. And if you're not feeling your team, then you can always swap next time. So I'm pretty happy that it's worked out as it has. We've had 25 people sign up, which is absolutely epic. It's our first I guess it's our second paid league because the first one was the first 6-week league that we did just recently. But it was only $5, so it wasn't the hugest of buy-ins. This one here, just because I wanted to give more price support back, it was $20 for the 6 weeks. I guess you could put it. You also get a chance to win a Typhoon box. Was how I labeled it, but unfortunately, I think it might be something like maybe we do one single kill team box, maybe, which I think everyone should be okay with, and then well, maybe we'll do 2 for the first one and 2 for the second one. Like, obviously, all the money that I've gathered for those leagues goes straight back into the prize support. It's not like I'm taking anything for myself or anything along those lines. And of course, always the free folk stickers, which I think have been absolutely fun and exciting. It's cool to have something that's not necessarily like everyone will get a sticker, and I think that's fun because you can show your participation. So yeah, hopefully we can get another we can get a box of Typhon or something else, because it's a bit unfair that well, I guess, you know, we could maybe talk about that, is not many stores got boxes of Typhoon, and I think it's a real bummer, because I had put expressions of interest in at one store, then got told on the day that they couldn't fulfill it. I then found another store that said they could do it for me, and I bought two boxes, so one for myself and then one for the league. But then I've just got an email today saying that stock is not being fulfilled, which I thought was pretty rough. I've had another store basically on the other side of the world, down in Melbourne, that I spoke to, and they said they couldn't have one as well. So yeah, just trying to scramble. I've got one guy left who I'm trying to get in contact with, so hopefully something happens there. If it doesn't, then I'll just get some boxes from somewhere else. But once again, all those boxes will go straight back to everyone who's played. What I'll do on the stream as well is I'll do a live stream on the YouTube channel, and we'll do like a draw system there, so there's no sort of ambiguity about who won what and whatever else. So maybe we can schedule that for the end of the league. I think that'd be cool, at least at the end of the first series of leagues, and then the second one. What else has been going on? I think that's it. I'm gonna take Goremongers to the ambush, which is the one down at Gamers Village. I'm just I feel like I don't have a grasp on them yet. I'd really like to win one of these things that I've been going to. I don't seem to get very far. I've got a few roadblocks in my way, but hopefully the ambush one, the Gamers Village, hopefully I'll be able to get up and also learn a bit too about Goremongers. I'm finding when I'm playing against them, I don't really have a solid strategy. I think the understanding of what the team can and can't do is not there yet for me. I'm a bit of when I learn, I sort of do things via experiencing it versus, say, I guess I'm a learn by doing than a learn by reading sort of situation. A lot of people can tell me, oh, you can do this or you can do that, and I'm like, oh, I don't really get that until you sort of play, and then I'm like, oh, now I understand what happens. It's not great. So yeah, it should be quite exciting to play with the Goremongers themselves. Hopefully, be able to learn a little bit about them, as well as what works and what doesn't work, and that way, maybe in the future, if I come across them, I'll be able to sort of handle them a bit better. I was a bit sort of disappointed with myself because, it's no real secret, but like Leroy, I like Leroy a lot. But I find sometimes when Leroy and I have games that are at a competitive level, we're both trying to get the most out of the game, and maybe our personalities are very similar in that respect. I'm not really sure, but sometimes we end up butting heads in a positive way. It's not negative, but for me personally, it can be a little bit draining. But I want to say, like, shout out to Lee. He's actually been a really good competitor. He's been a really good guy to play against. And for me personally, on the day, on the Sunday here at the Saturday, sorry, at the first of Ian's tournaments, the showdowns, I didn't think that I handled myself too well. I think I was a bit down and upset about the game, which is not my normal MO. So I just want to apologise to Lee and say, like, sorry, mate. And I think even at the end of the game, I said, look, it's not you. It's not personally you. It's the Goremongers were a thing that I was struggling to play against. And I got a bit downhearted, and got a bit salty about the whole situation, which, can happen. But as long as we, afterwards we had a bit of a chat, and I think, I think we smoothed things out, which is fine. And I can't wait to play against Lee again, to be honest. He's, as a player and a competitor, he's come so far from our very first interactions to now. And I think that just shows, his competitive nature, as well as his ability to be a good sportsman as well. So, yeah, big shout out to Lee. Big shout out to Ian as well on the day. Once again, these tournaments that Ian runs, they feel flawless. I feel like there's very little dramas that ever happen. Like, everything runs so smoothly, and I think that just goes to show Ian's dedication and how hard he works. So big shout out to him, and I think we're all very appreciative of that. I'd also want to give a shout out to some of the guys who during the day have said, we want to get better at Kill Team. We want to work more towards being able to, if not win a tournament, place a bit higher. So I think it's really good that we can have that discussion. And even, I brought Taz in on one discussion. I said, oh, look, this particular player wants to get better at Kill Team. Taz, can we organise like some training to go towards, helping this guy get better at Kill Team, which I think is going to make us holistically better at Kill Team. So, it's fantastic. So, yeah, I guess there's been lots of tournaments and tribulations recently, and the leagues, and I think we're just in a really fantastic spot now for Kill Team. I think it's been an absolute whirlwind month for Kill Team here in Queensland, and I can see that, even next weekend we've got Gamers Village, we've got another one in the end of June for Ian again at G-Bung. I think he's going to hold at the G-Bung RSL Club again, which is fantastic. And then I think it's through August, September, October, I think as well. There are events that will be listed. So it's absolutely fantastic. If you guys are listening to this, I'd really love you guys to do me a favour. If you could subscribe to this channel, that would help me out heaps. I can't post any links. I can't post any Discord information. I can't basically post any hyperlinks at all because I have to have over 100 subscribers to do that. So if you guys are listening to this, and even if you're never going to listen again, or you think my ideas are just whack or whatever, please subscribe anyway, because I'd love to just be able to, for the people who are listening, reward them with saying, hey, here's a list of all our links that you can click on. Like, here's our Discord, and here's the link to the next tournament, or here's the link to the BCP for this. So if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. So thanks very much for listening. I really appreciate it. I don't really know what I'm doing with all this content and this podcast, but if you guys want to hear anything from me, let me know in the comments. Honestly, I think I can do things like rundowns of what I think is good in a team, or what might be good for some basic strategies or something like that. Once again, it'll only be what I think is good, and I honestly don't know if I'm the best Kill Team player in the area to be taking that sort of advice from, but I'm more than happy to help foster that situation. If you guys are interested, like, whatever. I guess the other thing too is, speaking of being sort of ranked or whatever in a certain area, I think after this weekend, after Ian's showdown, we've actually got some more rankings, which is really, really cool. So I'll just bring them up now. So here they are now, and this is just for Australia in ICT rankings. We can see over the weekend, just because we've actually had some fantastic results, Taz has pushed his way up to 3. We can also see a few other people there that we might know, like Luke and Carl. Shout out to those boys. But even when we look down that list, we can start to see, myself at 16. We've got Leroy down there at 19. We've got Aaron Edwards at 17. Sorry, Aaron, I missed you there. Damo's at 22. So definitely we can see that the amount of playing that we're doing here in Queensland is definitely contributing, obviously, to the whole of Australia. But we've got some good players here too. And I think it's fantastic that we're getting an opportunity now to really showcase, we legitimately have good players here, even though we don't have as many events or as big events as, say, some other states. So it's been fantastic. I think it's been really, really good and really positive for our scene up here as well. Absolutely brilliant. So I just wanted to say thank you very much again for listening, guys. It's been a bit of a shorter podcast. I've just had myself to sort of talk to, but I definitely wanted to I definitely wanted to say something before next weekend and try and get a bit of a rhythm going for the podcast and putting out some more regular content. I know I've been a bit wishy-washy with everything, but hopefully I'll be able to do some more things, and especially having like tournaments up here. Like I always said, this was going to be more localized to the Queensland region versus say on a like I don't know, a whole Australian level, or even say an international level. It was going to be more localized to what we're doing, because the most important thing is we want to grow the scene here in Queensland, and I think just it's speaks volumes now that we've had a league that everyone participated in. We had 24 people sign up for that one. We've had 25 on this new league. We're having consistent tournaments now. To me, it's just hard work paying off, and I think Kill Team here in Queensland is in a really healthy spot. So I just want to say thanks to everyone who's making that a reality, and yeah, I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.